Greetings, hola, and konnichiwa. We are going to be playing some Zelda 2 tonight. Just came out about 2 days ago on the Nintendo Switch Online. Originally on the Nintendo Entertainment System. But one of the more interesting ones tends to get a bad reputation, but it actually has a very interesting history to it, and I think it's, even though it's not the best game in the series, I think it's definitely one of the more important and ones to me. I mean, not just from a nostalgia point of view, but just to what it added to the overall series. It's also one of the few that have not been either remade or had parts or resources from it reused in other games. Or used other assets from other games. It's kind of like its entirely unique self. Although they did try to remake it once for the Game Boy Advance, the two Oracle games that came out for that platform. Was the Advance the Color? I think it was Game Boy Color, actually. They had tried to do a remake of Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and a third original game, but the password system they were trying to implement for those three games to get them to interact with each other actually apparently was too complicated, so they scaled the project back to just two games: the original title and the remake of the original Legend of Zelda, which I believe became Oracle of Seasons, and then Oracle of Ages was the the original title that connected to it. But the Zelda 2 remake basically got scrapped. So we're going to start going into this in just one moment. You have to keep in mind we got to keep in mind that it has a very extensive backstory to it that you only can find in the you can only find in the manual, but it actually gives the game a very extensive sense of place in the Zelda mythos. The primary thrust of it is that you are the same Link from the original Legend of Zelda game, and it's now, I believe they say, his 16th birthday. I'm not sure if they originally specified the actual age in the manual or not, but basically he's a few years older than he was when he first set out in the first game. And then you have the Triforce symbol appear on his hand, and that leads to him being led by Impa to a secret chamber where a Princess Zelda is sleeping. And we're told that it's not the same Zelda that you rescued in the original game, but rather the original Princess Zelda, who was placed underneath a curse by an evil wizard. And basically the tradition was passed down that every princess in the royal family would be named Zelda in her honor. And this was sort of like the origin of The Legend of Zelda. Even though the first game had its own characterization of what The Legend of Zelda was, and both were told to the same exact Link from the same exact Impa, so maybe Impa just liked telling stories. But the two key factors, though, that spun off of that bit of backstory is that not only is there the Triforces that we encountered in the first game, the Triforce of Wisdom, which is the one you were trying to assemble, that Zelda had scattered in the original game, and the Triforce of Power, which is the one that Ganon had acquired. And what the second game here introduces is a third Triforce, the Triforce of Courage, which would come to be most associated with Link himself as the series progressed. What's really kind of at the time was very mind-blowing is that, of course, it makes sense that the Triforce would have three components to it. But having something that was sort of taken as a matter of fact for a period of time at the inception of this series really did kind of blow your mind if you were like a 7 or 8 year old in the 80s. But clearly a key factor, and that's the ultimate objective of the game, is to recover this lost Triforce, which was hidden away by an ancient king. Meanwhile, the minions of Ganon are now searching Hyrule for Link himself, because it's said that only his blood, the blood of the hero who slayed Ganon, could be used if poured on Ganon's ashes to resurrect Ganon and kind of bring about the ultimate evil. So you kind of had this kind of little dark subplot going where if you die or are killed by the enemies in the game, Ganon has returned. And that sort of explains the game over screen, which that part of the story is not included in the actual game itself in any other form. So that game over screen, which you will see a lot of in this game, because this is a hard game, so there will be a lot of death, a lot of destruction. Well, not destruction, just destruction of the hero, because you're just going to be stabbed, shot, smashed, and thrown down a pit every chance you get. But that key component of that laughter that you'll see, again, quite often in the game over screen will be integrated into the backstory element coming off of that manual. But enough of me talking for now. And we're going to go ahead and start loading this up. We have the original screen here. One moment here. Let's give it some notes here. Oh, let's get some, make sure we don't get some echo on that. There we go. So as we play this through here, you'll see they do give you a little bit of that backstory in the brief 6-bit form once the title screen here, which honestly, you know, as a kid, I don't think I ever really resolved that it's on a cliff looking over the ocean. I always thought it was kind of like a beach or something. But here we have a sort of a summary of what I was just talking about here with the sleeping Zelda. Here, though, at least they give you the backstory of the crystals that Impa also gives you, which is what you use to destroy the palaces that are generating the protective barrier around the final objective palace where the Triforces are hidden. But let's go ahead and start this off here. And of course, we're going to use quest. You have to get used to using the select button a lot. They still used that back then instead of just using arrows, which was, I don't know if it was counterintuitive or not. So the game here is very much a combat rhythm type of structure to it, and you're going to see a lot of that. In fact, it probably may take me a few deaths to really get back into the groove of it. But the very much kind of like the proto state of what would be later be used in the 3D titles, although you wouldn't have as much direct jump. This has a lot more platforming to it because you have actual control over your jump, which you really don't have in any other games except for really Zelda 4 Link's Awakening, where you have the feather that gives you that ability to hop over directly, and then everything else, all the other games that have jump tend to be more of an auto jump for the most part. There are obviously exceptions to that, but let's get out into the world here. And the overworld is really large, and later on, once we get towards the Death Mountain area, you'll be able to see a scale of it compared to the original game. And really, the regions that you explore in this game were never really touched upon geographically in pretty much any of the other titles that we know about. Up until maybe Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild's map is so large, and depending on certain geographic markers and how you interpret how things may have changed over time, you may actually be exploring these regions again for the first time in nearly 20 years. Oh wait, 30 years, right? Yeah, it'd be so from the late 80s to 90s. Yeah, so about 30 years later, you're finally re-exploring these areas here that were first touched upon in the late 80s. The map, the overworld map itself, is not very interactive. It's basically a more typical RPG map where you're going to have your random encounters come in, and they do spice it up a little bit by giving you a few interactive aspects in terms of certain items that you can utilize and certain obstacles that you can interact with, but not to a great extent. And actually, it's probably one of the more disappointing aspects of the game. It'd be really fantastic if they ever made a remake of this game to really go deep into the overworld and really expand on its capabilities and interactivity. Yep, so you got these small and large monsters to give you an indication of challenges, and they only appear when you stray off the given path. I'm gonna go down to the village here first. You can actually, there's actually a little subplot or side quest here that you could bypass and kind of complete and bring right back here, but we'll go ahead and play through this directly. And then we have the villages here. This is Rauru. Now you also notice that all the villages will be named, or well, are retroactively now named for the sages from Ocarina of Time. But their names showed up here first. That's probably the only aspects of these games that really showed up in later games directly in terms of the lore or locations and such. Now, it's also a big step up here too, by having a village, because in the original Zelda, Hyrule had been mostly abandoned, so most of the people that you encountered were either enemies or people living in caves, or traveling merchants. But here we actually get the actual villages long before there was a Kakariko village or what have you. Okay, we have the crystal subplot being brought in here, and you actually have the doors to explore. If all else fails, use fire. I mean, that's just sound advice overall, like virtual world or not. Especially this dude's, I don't know, this guy doesn't really have a name, I don't think, but I feel like with that motto, like, he's either got a Scottish accent or like a Viking type of thing going. If all else fails, use fire. If all else fails, use fire. And there's a lot of jokes to be made about this particular interaction here, given that you talk to this lady walking the street around a certain corner, and she invites you inside to recover your health or your life. And then only Link leaves afterwards, but nope, oh, there she goes. We're not going full GTA on this one. Should also be noted too that there's a lot of this one adds an RPG mechanic to things. So in the upper right hand corner, you're going to see the XP I'd be earning to upgrade to the next level to allow me to upgrade my magic and life stats, as well as defense, I believe, as well. Oh, how you doing, little fella, or little lady? Get Kindle in Parapa Palace. Go west. That's all that's out here for now. I thought there was actually there should have been a side quest. Did I miss something? Oh, maybe that other building. Actually, I thought there was a side quest here that got triggered, but I could be over remembering things. Let's do a creature encounter here. And we've got the bots, who really are some of the most underestimated enemies. These guys, they're your typical gels or slimes in principle, because they're only they're a little low, but they're little freaking hops. Ugh. They're probably the most deadly and dangerous equivalents in any kind of come back here. In any action adventure RPG type of fantasy setting. Points. Now you have the option here of actually holding off to level up a little quicker, and I'm gonna hold off and try and see if I can last a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that first. Let me take that first life upgrade. We're eventually going to have to work on. I eventually want to focus more on my attack so I can take down the palace stuff a little better. Moblins. One of the first returning enemies you really see. Although technically you could call the bots the same thing as the I believe they were called Zolls in the original game. Here's the thing though, these orange moblins respawn infinitely, so you don't get points from them. So I'm trying to kill these spiders. It also should be mentioned too that this series also introduced not just the combat techniques that I mentioned were a focus, but also you got the guys you can't see in the dark until I get the candle, but that's normal for the Zelda games. But the magic meter is also added. That was not something found in the original Zelda game. Actually, you know what? I don't think I want to go to this cave just yet. Hold on. Ugh, I hate that. You try to jump off the stage and you end up... Now there is a... Once you know these things are here, you can kind of see a little bit of a distortion on the ground. Okay, maybe not here. Maybe because I just killed it recently? That can't be right. Maybe because I just killed it recently. You know, if you look at the ground, you'll actually be able to see a little bit of the pixel distortion. Alright, let's see what's in here. Ugh. These things are boring me. Okay. Little hidden grove with these vires, which are really just the keys from the original game. They just changed the name for some reason, even though they even have a later form that's like a vampire creature demon called an Ackerman in this one, and I forget the name of the one from the original game off the top of my head. Alright, so sand will not bring me solace. I'll just be shot by these infinite fireballs or rocks or whatever they are. Gotta block your balls at the end there, otherwise you're gonna get hit in the nuts with those. Okay, see, you can see a little bit of a silhouette there. There's probably one of those keys. So something's here. It's probably an Octo Rock, which we haven't seen yet. Oh no! That's another thing that's changed too. The death screens, they used to flash a lot more back in the day. But every time they re-released it since the GameCube, I'm going to start banking on this. Let's see here. Oh, there's something coming in. Oh, I should have just stayed. Oh, the boomerang dudes. Damn it. So close. Yeah, I may come back. The boomerang guys are a little bit easier to handle once you can see them. So they talk about Cave West. I don't think it's literally west, but I could be wrong. By that I just simply mean of the village rather than just the general direction. Oh, maybe I do. Okay. Something's there. There you go. It's got the levers, I think they're called. This was a game manual I made. I was giving Zelda 2 as a gift on the Wii U download, or the Wii U Virtual Console, as sort of a Christmas gift, but didn't want to leave him hanging with the story and other things, because, again, this game is rather hard. So I went and made my own manual to get them, and that was... Oh, man. Okay, I could use that, I guess, but that's not what I'm looking for. Made a sort of simulated parchment paper and kind of transcribed, or reinterpreted, I should say, adapted the original manual storyline and kind of gave it a little bit of integration into the more modern games that they may have played, so it made a little bit more sense in the grand scheme of things. And then went ahead and also illustrated all the creatures and ease of interpreting what some of these sprites are supposed to look like, with more of the creatures designed using the different manuals and strategy guides or player guide artwork that have been done over the decades. And also kind of put my spin on some of them. I was pretty slavish to some of the details, but twisted them around a little bit in others, either to make the artwork match closer to what you see on screen, or to bring in some details from elsewhere in the mythos. I am Error. Which apparently you may think is an actual error, but it turns out it's not. It's actually an in-joke, because Error has a little bit of a brother later on we're going to meet, and his name is Bug. Garaya of Tantari stole our trophy. Yeah, he killed me earlier, actually. Garaya being the boomerang dude in the dark who just kind of thwacked the hell out of me, I guess, and... So this is the place that this is where I was looking for the storyline to begin. But let's see what the fat lady's got here. Use keys in palaces they are found in. Do not go south without a candle. It's a very manly voice for the fur lady, but that's alright. I'm not gonna judge. Not much in this thing. Okay, so we got a little bit of hints there, but so the candle is not there. I'm sort of trying to find my way back through these things as well. I'm guessing this has to be the western direction. Then I thought it was a separate cave on that side, but apparently I was wrong. Also, you'll notice this game does still have the zap ability. Not quite as powerful as it is in some of the other games, but nonetheless very useful. Giving you sort of a short range thing. Kind of feel like... Alright, let's see what's south here. Safety! Oop. No, not safety. Now we got bubbles. Oh crap. Come on. Alright. So this is where the combat starts to come in here. You see you got both the high and the low guard. And the jump. Oh, man. Okay, you can't duck on the way back. But, and he might kill me. Alright. I am going to try to risk it. And not... Power... Oh, no, not these things. Okay. I hate these things so much. No. Die! Don't respawn, don't respawn. Phew. Okay. There's gotta be a fairy here, please? Or heart? Okay. Ha! While I'm leveling up, I'm invincible. Kind of funny. Because if you figure, like, Link is just kind of like, at that point, showing off, really. I mean, there's no real energy being transposed there or anything. So, from the Garaya's POV, this guy is just sort of... Some dude's just kind of flexing, looking at an imaginary camera, like this, going, yeah! And he throws his normally fairly deadly weapon at him, and it just bounces off of him. I mean, that's like... Talk about statuesque. Ugh. I hate these. This is like definitely a platformer aspect here with the timing of these things, because one bad move, your pit. Alright, so I'm gonna try and make a run for the village. Actually, no, I'm full power right now, so my frame rate gotten hurt by this thing? I'm sorry, I'm just checking the stream right now. Of course, I can't. I'm kind of in a tough spot to pause. See, it's the freaking Zol that got me there. Alright. Okay, attack went up. My frame rate is kind of hurting you guys, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to kill that video of the... whatchamacallits. Alright, we're back. Should catch up eventually. Now these guys... Yeah. When I was drawing, these jackal guys were some of the ones where I definitely wanted to change some of the original drawings on, because the blobs on high ground. No, it's over. They had the high ground. Crap! 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 Look at how far they can jump when they get the air to them. I can't get up there. Stalfos for the first time. Oh crap! Sort of waiting for the opening there when they strike. And we get a key out of that. I have no life though. This should be interesting. Oh. Game over. Return of Ganon. So we've gotten that. And of course the game over throws you back to this palace, which I think is also another flaw in the design that just makes it unnecessarily difficult, because no matter where you are in the game, it throws you back to here. Except for maybe the Great Palace at the very, very end of the game. But the stats and stuff I did carry over at least, so there is that. I just lost the XP, which wasn't much to begin with. Yeah, these jackal soldiers are another type that infinitely respawns. Come on. Here, boy. Here, boy. Here. Who's an evil bit of goo? There you are. Them bones, them bones. Oh, at least I got to keep the key. That's good. I didn't recover that. Okay, so they use that as the gatekeeper. Oh, I thought I turned this thing on. Oh, hot in here. All right, there you go. Now these bubbles are annoying, much as they were in the original game. However, what you may not realize is that you actually can kill these things. You just have to get the right position on them. Like once they get in here, usually, if you can get them close quarter where they can keep attacking you, because they kind of have Pong physics going on here, or a bit of an alleyway thing. Come back here. Just gotta keep at it. Takes a while. It's a lot easier when there's not an infinitely respawning set of creatures after you. The fast moving ones that get you. Yeah, it may not be worth my time to continue killing this thing. No, at least not until my attack gets stronger. I'm gonna let that one go. Those were wasus. That's the thing. Also, when they hit you, they don't just take life. They actually take experience instead. So the question is, do I go down or to continue forward? I'm gonna continue this floor and see what's on here. I have a feeling I have to go down, come back, but I'm gonna wait on the magic and go for the extra attack. Oh, more branching. Oh, we could use you. Of course, the jump, you have to get some momentum to actually reach there. Alright. I'm going to go back to that middle juncture. And sometimes, just sometimes, there's like hidden stuff in these statues. It's also interesting that the attacks also, there's this sort of pushback, I guess you call it, or whatever, recoil. Like when you attack something too strongly, it does push you back, so you have to keep leaning into the attack. Which, if you think about it, is really a very Nintendo quality to the gameplay. I only get 50 for that? Because you had, like, you know, Mario, which was known for, like, the momentum of how Mario runs and kind of slides to a stop. But then, as far as, instead of just coming to, like, you know, an abrupt, like, stop on a dime, like, motion type of deal. And that's really a key thing to a lot of the Mario games in terms of building the right momentum to reach certain jumps. Now, this recoil, I don't know if is as integral an element in the Zelda games, but I don't recall it being a quality found in the original game. Oh man. Okay, I can't kill all these things. There's just too many of them. Ugh. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Come here, you evil blue bastard. Oh, he still got me. How am I losing magic? I don't even have any magic abilities. Alright. I know what this is. And there's probably going to be something that will tempt me to my death. I'm going to ignore it. And just run! Run, Forrest! Run! Don't look back, dude! Run as fast as you can. Ugh. Okay, you jump down there. Y'all just jump towards me. Ah. Oh no. I I hate the Goomas. I don't know if the slideshow got far enough into it, but there's a lot of different ways to interpret this creature. I always took it as more of a mole thing, but there's actually a bit of a bull. There's actually really a bull quality to it. Ah! Didn't get the points for that one. Oh, still got the points. Come on. Oh, come on! I killed him. He's like immune to zap though, so you have to get in close. And eventually he hops. I think you gotta stay within the arc of these clubs he's throwing over him. Whew. Oh no. Oh shit. No, 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 no. Run, 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 run! I really hate this guy. I'm gonna cheap him. He can still reach me up here. Alright, I can't... Okay, hold on. He's gonna show up. He's ready for that quick slide. Oh, man. The iron knuckles. This is where the rhythm of the attacks really... Okay. Didn't I use the key? Oh, I don't have the key for that. Dang it. I forgot I used the key on the demo door earlier when we first walked in. Oh no. Well, it was a worthy battle. Run! Now I know there's probably ways of getting those pea bags if you're like super controlled in this stuff, but I don't think I've ever made one of those in my life, and I don't think I'm going to start now. Not with this amount of life left. No more links left. But I just need 30 for an upgrade. Maybe if I can kill a bubble. It's a little bit of a grindy attack, and I'm trying to avoid the grinding until later. That's gonna be it will be necessary eventually. Floating skull. It's supposed to be on fire. Oh, here's a little bit more of a neon type of deal. All right, so. It does save when you get the upgrades. Fairy's gone. I'm gonna go upstairs. Top floor. And if you check out the sprites on these Wasu, there's actually a little bit of a blood drip on the end of their knives. It's actually one of the, as far as I've read, one of the earliest and rarer examples of there being like blood in an actual Nintendo game. Ah, this thing. Oh, I'm not making this. Oh, maybe I can. Yeah, I'm backed up against the wall here. Now I got 2 keys. Some extra magic. Not that that really is useful right now. Actually, I think you actually can learn the jump magic ability. Jump magic, jump magic. All we need is a missing child. Alright, so now we can go back. Open up that one door. Oh no! Damn it! Oh, still alive. Let's see if we can actually survive the respawning enemies. Oh, of course not. I threw a zap through there, and that usually is supposed to be enough to temporarily freeze anything that might be in your jump path. But I guess it just must have missed barely. Wasso! What's up? What's up? What's up? I'll stop. Come on, I'm trying to crack a skull here. Let's crack some skulls. I'm being greedy. But oh, that one kind of freaked out there a little bit, didn't it? It kind of did a little horizontal slide. Alright, no. It's me. I'm just thinking now. So that bridge actually like is disintegrating. It's supposed to be like a collapsing bridge, whether because it's old age or what have you. Ugh. Lots of death. But it comes back every time you leave the room. I think these bots here, these blobs, at both ends of this bridge, their job is to rebuild this bridge every time someone breaks it. But since they're blobs, they're doing a really crappy job at putting the bridge back together because they don't have hands. So it's very fragile what they can put back together. And that's why it's always falling apart. Oh man, I gotta beat this thing again. Would you kindly die? I'm still gonna skip the magic for now. I still got lives left, so I don't have to take the save. I can use it strategically. Come on. Yes! Nope. And there's a candle. That guard was sworn to protect this candle. You gotta wonder what that guard did, what that Iron Knuckle did to get that job assigned to him. Like, they're talking to, like, blobs. See what I said? These things are the most deadly slimes you'll ever encounter in anything. That's the jumping is really how you get to it, but yes! Ha-ha! I am the hero of legend. The hero of time, the hero of worlds, the hero of winds. And I shall die repeatedly at the hands of a blob, a slime, a zole, a bot. But really, is a slime by any other name just as deadly? Going down. Link in an elevator. Nope. I thought I had life 2 on that. Was I looking at... Oh. Alright, don't mix up your life meter with your actual life count. That seems to be a very easy thing. Or maybe not so easy. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But we can see things now, at least. So when this creature over here shows up, louder. That's what I was looking for. Parapa Palace. Parapapa. I will say I do enjoy the RPG aspect of this. That you can choose how you want to upgrade Link. So if you do want to fast track the tech tree for your magic abilities, you can. Although since you can't get the magic that quickly, a lot of the abilities you just basically have like one or two abilities early on in the game that you'd just be able to use like all the time. Which might actually make the game a little easier, I suppose, if you can use the recovery ability. I forget when you get that option though. But if you get that early enough, then maybe jamming the tech tree for the magic would be a viable option. Obviously, the life meter can also help you, so you can play more longer lasting. Or you could try like how I'm playing it this time with the kind of just going mostly attack. You killed my clone. Prepare to die. See, the reaction really all goes into like he telegraphs his attack. Like you see the sword come back, so you have to be able to react to block it. Oh man, he can pass through. See, I never understood this. How can he pass through a locked gate? I mean, granted, I can get through it now too, but I guess he's supposed to. He has like his own key in a way, but you don't see the door move. This is sort of these are like the last gatekeepers to the actual boss. Oh, I should have blocked that. I mean, you're supposed to block it, but I think it was within my capability. So here's the thing: whenever you beat the boss, you automatically level up. I'm a third of the way to the next leveling up. So it depends. Do I want to keep that XP and try to level up naturally? Or do I go for the boss? If I was halfway there, I would say. That's a good question. Attack's at 3. There's probably more than you need to beat the boss, but I'm gonna go for it. Oh wait, I don't have to jump though. That might make it more difficult. Or maybe not. Oof. Okay, it makes it a little more difficult. Because you gotta jump into them. Oh, you gotta back up too. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, there goes that. All that indecision for nothing. Continue! Now that I have the candle, while I'm back out here, I am going to go back to this cave first. Oh, man. The Octorok won. I hate when the Octorok wins. There's the Garaya. Not so hard now when you're not in the dark. Yay, I got the angel, the trophy or something. Looks like it could be an angel. I remember it was like, used to be like a kid or a child or something. Maybe that's later in the game. Go back here. Yo. Please, let me help you. Come inside. I don't know why she sounds like Mario, but I can restore your life. Maybe it's like a Cappy type of situation. She's got a little red thing in her head. Yeah, I meant to. It's kind of a weird perspective on that that wall there, but alright. You saved the trophy. Come see something. Oh, I advanced that a little too quickly. Oh, I see. They took like, the inside of a building and they just cut it away. Oh, Gandalf. What's up? With this, you can jump very high. Doo-doo-doo. Does he see anything else after he gives you that? No, he just kind of sits there and... Is he? Like, is he just, like, chewing stuff? Or... This, like, he's not... He's fluffing his beard. Like, he's just, like... Like, he's not stroking it, because you can see that the bottom is staying absolutely still. But it's, like, almost like... It's going, like... I suppose it's sort of a talking motion, but he's not saying anything right now. But his hand's also going, too. Like, he's, like, literally, like... Maybe it's like a Close Encounters of the Third Kind type of thing. Like, he's trying to tell us, like, dun, 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 dun. Obviously, like, since this is set later in the timeline... Clearly, word has gone around throughout the ages to lock your doors, at least some houses. Otherwise, Link is just going to, you know, wander in and smash all the pots. So, I'm going to go... Now that I have a candle, I'm going to go south, first of all. Much like the other things, you can potentially get through this in the dark. Really, just charging at them is... kind of the closest, it's kind of the best strategy usually. Getting close so you can block the pieces. And just hope you get the... Oh, louders. It takes a while to get into the rhythm of these. The attacks are so precise. So the red one there is where the Ack, or Ache, becomes the Akeman. And I don't want to wake... Oh, I got him before he transformed. What? How come I can't select that? Is it because I didn't upgrade my magic? Am I being too greedy here? Oh. Oh wait, these respawn? That's gonna take a while to get 700 more points. I wonder if they respawn. So I'm switching it out to like a different output quality. I'm just going to see if that has a greater effect on the stream. Let me just see what this looks like with Link jumping around a little bit. Oh, that's much better. Maybe a little bit of lag, but that's not too bad now, actually. So I had it downgraded to 720 from 1080, but that might just be what my computer can handle at the moment. All right, we're gonna go with that. All right, that turned out pretty good. Oh crap, I forgot. Vampire, let's go. Vampire demon. All right, so I forgot I gotta upgrade, don't I? All right. forgot to try and upgrade my whatchamacallit before, but that's alright. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go hunting. Let's see what I can get over here. Not a lot. Set a spear. I was fine until it took a spear to the knee. Really, the only place I'm going to get decent decent XP is going to be in the palace. The only place I'm going to get like 700. I'm going to even get 700 something. That's something to do. You've got the overworld here. You can pause it, but you can't get any stats or anything. So I'm either going to die or... Okay, let's face it, I'm gonna die. But there stands the slight chance. Back to the princess. Here we are again. Alright, so this time I won't bypass the magic upgrade. Huh. Link always stops with the same foot out. Shuffle, slide, shuffle, slide, shuffle, slide, shuffle, slide, shuffle, slide. Ah, he nailed it at the end there. Oh, come on. I totally killed you before I died. Alright, vampire bats. Okay. Now... the heck? Use it. Oh, there we go. Oh, I forgot. Damn it. So I didn't have to do all that? I actually probably could have used the magic from before to make the jump. I just forgot that the select button worked independently of having to select that. Another reason why this game is sort of meant for the manual. So, the mistake or assumption I made was that I had to select the magic from the pause menu, from this menu, and I thought, yeah, they'd be able to hit select or something to enable it. I was misremembering, and actually, whatever you have selected there, you can activate on the battle screens by hitting the select button at this point. However, since it was the only piece of magic I have, I never actually tried it because I didn't think it was selected, but apparently whatever is when you have one, it's your default, which makes a lot of sense and just makes me look like an idiot, but... Oh, not these things. They're gonna kill me all. Now, there's another town around here somewhere. And we are gonna try and get there. We're going to start jumping. Alright, so the town is at the bridge here, I think. I wish you could scroll the map a little bit more, but... Alright, so we're going to cross this bridge here in a second. Run! Oh, he can turn around. The Bagu Bagu. Oh, that's just ugly. Yeah, and I got killed by a fish. By a bonefish. Well, I'm back up here again. I just wonder you could have gotten like the heal by now, but alright. I'm gonna hope I can get 150 XP from whatever still respawns in this place. So that when I get to Horsehead, Missouri, aka, I can then use the Palace Completion upgrade on the next highest stat and save these lower ones for the next time I'm in like the Battlelands, the Grasslands and such. Yo, blue dude. Ah! Anything that's a skull or skullish, Scully is generally worth it. I just need 2 more. Alright. You know what? The life meter is probably worth it. But I'm gonna play it dangerous here. Where's the fairies? Ah, they do respond. Oh, sweet! I wish I had known that before. Alright. I want to save the some chances for what you call it, but oh, come on. Those underhanded ones are really getting me. And they shouldn't be. Okay, we're going to skip that. If this doesn't work out, well, then I'm going to definitely upgrade my life next time. There's another iron knuckles in there. I don't know if it's just the D-pad that gets him. Every time he does an underhanded one, like he gets me. Yeah, he gets me every time I'm with the underhand. That's what I'm trying to duck. I wonder if I try it with a stick. I don't think it's gonna work though. I mean, I know it works, but is it really gonna? I need a proper D-pad, right? You know, I got a better idea. My plan is I'm going to go back to the south where some of the enemies are worth more points. Use them to level up past these lower thresholds. Give me the extra power boost I'm going to need on the life meter. And then still allow the XP in the palace to get me to the 1000 threshold. Because then I'm still only earning 400 to 700. Oh, almost had him. Maybe I ended up wasting more time trying to skip a level than I would have just done if I just leveled up normally. No! Huh, you still gotta pull the menu up though, so I wasn't too wrong before then actually, it seems. Oh, we got an extra one. They usually don't... Ah. They usually don't respawn. Actually, I guess they responded last time, I guess, so I guess that makes sense. Alright, swamp people. Come at me. Yeah, you still gotta actually go to the menu. That's really kind of weird. It's funny, it's just these mini, small mini challenges between the side quests and such. Now, granted, if I had been stubborn with how I was leveling up, I might have actually made more progress in this time. Considering I've been here for a few hours now, they really do help well, I don't say help, they managed to stretch out a simple maze on a single palace pretty well. Blobs, go away. Come on. Yeah, those bottom shots. I don't think this D-pad is really cut out for this. Because I don't recall the Wii U version giving me that much trouble. That was fortunate. Maybe I'm not going to get the 1,000 because now the 400 is coming up. He's just like, you die. I don't think I'm making it to the horse head. Okay, I have to power through him. Do I want to power through? It's the magic thing that's going to screw me over. But nothing really respawns in this palace enough to give me the extra 133 I need. That's my last life anyways. Oh, let's just get it over with. I try to be smart in leveling up. I'm gonna die anyways. Alright, Mazora! Mazora! I'm here! Come on! Kill me! Actually, the jump might actually be a hindrance here. Or maybe not. He's gotta time it right. Nope. It's not even about the XP now. It's just literally about needing the leveling to survive some of the hitboxes on that. Well, the hitboxes are pretty tight, but I don't want to blame the hitboxes unnecessarily. To compensate for the precision, and perhaps the precision I'm losing with the Switch D-pad, or its lack thereof. Because it is really kind of bothering me still how that Iron Knuckle keeps getting me on the low shots, even though I'm reacting to them. It's almost as if I'm turning around. Yeah, look, I just did it right there. Now that one got me legit, but and even beyond just like it's really you have to really choose the magic menu in order to be able to enable it though. Oh, he takes more than one hit. Of course he does. It's really interesting though how like so many details of this you could see were pulled from Zelda 1. Oh. Yet they were reinterpreted in different ways. Like your life meter being consistent throughout the thing. It's not hearts, but it endures from place to place. It doesn't regenerate. Yeah, I keep hitting that. I wonder if I'd have better luck with the stick. It's just gonna feel weird, but let's try this with the stick while we're just practicing against Octo Rocks here. Really, with this game in general, the main fallback for the difficulty is you just gotta grind it out, and that extra XP eventually offsets some, not all, but some of the challenge or difficulty level. I gotta watch out for these damn birds. They take XP. But unlike the Wasu, these things actually do give you XP. So they're one of the few like infinitely regenerating enemies that give you XP. So you find a little groove here. It may take some time compared to like facing some larger enemies, and if you get hit, you actually do pay a penalty there with the stolen XP. But if you're willing to dedicate a little bit of time, this is probably the easiest way to get yourself upgraded or leveled up. And I think the problem I was running into when I was testing these things out here is with the size of the buttons as D-pads, as a D-pad, especially with the cradle here, I'm finding part of my finger actually does cross the left button. So that might actually explain why when I press down, my finger is crossing over a little bit, and it actually is turning Link around. So that could be an issue for other people too, depending on the size of your fingers. Normally I don't have any issues with different types of controllers like that, in terms of the size at least. Obviously different controllers will have different problems to them, but 96, 98, and 400. Is that the one I was waiting on? This is my last life, though, I think, so. It's a lot easier once you have the zap. I will say that the Switch Online, I know it's supposed to be the same emulator, but the Wii U was particularly bad at displaying NES games. They were darker, and they had like very significant audio issues depending on how you had your audio output, to the point where like the sound was just so bad like you really couldn't even play the games. Like it was just that bad. But here, haven't had any of those issues. I haven't changed any like special audio settings or anything to make it sound decent, and the graphics seem brighter than what the Wii U was. I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. It's gonna be the next. Oftentimes people tend to not even make it past that first palace or so, simply because of the level of difficulty. And while what I've passed by isn't impossible to get by on, a lot of times people didn't have the patience to refine their skills enough to get much further than that. Some good. You can kind of just you can eventually brute force it, like I was trying to do before. I think also, like, a lot of people won't, like, especially in the 80s, wouldn't have, a lot of kids wouldn't have fully understood the implications of the RPG system, especially if they hadn't played, like, you know, things like Dragon Warrior or anything like that prior to that. Like, you got that you were leveling up, but you wouldn't have necessarily fully understood the chart of how it was selecting what you could upgrade and what the choice to not upgrade gave you in terms of strategy in applying those XP points. Because that chart really, I don't know if the chart was actually in the manual or not, but it certainly wasn't at the top of your mind when you're playing the game. But if you did understand it, you knew that you could do a grind like this. And when I was doing the drawing for these guys, Mobies. Here we are now, grinding on the south side, weapon in hand, as I hope I don't die. They may fly, and I might pay, grinding Link's levels up all long day. Anyways, you know, as I was illustrating them, like, it's really difficult in a way to like translate, because like the sprites for these things have such big heads. They're a lot more cartoony in proportion than a lot of other things in the game. So you had to kind of like take the fact that it's a bird, work its proportions into things, but also kind of like work that aspect that the head is most of the body, or at least half the body. So there was sort of a integrating of the make it seem more one piece, if you will. Again, I think if they were remaking this game, the whole experience point level system would be completely revamped. in terms of how it's balanced. Either things would give you XP faster. There would definitely be more ways of getting XP faster. Like those points bags would get dropped more frequently, or enemies would be worth more points, or the leveling thresholds would be lowered or given more nuance. So perhaps instead of, I think there's like, what, 5 or 6 stages, maybe 7. I have to look at the chart to find out. But maybe they would double that, so that way you're leveling up twice as frequently, and that gives you a lot more options in terms of the branching of what skill sets you want to level up. Perhaps all of the above, because if you're leveling up more frequently, Link just gets stronger, and at least some of the difficulty of the game will... he's worth 10 points whether he's in bat form or demon form. That doesn't seem fair. I feel like either the demon form should be worth more because he's harder to... he's a more dangerous opponent, or the bat form should be rewarded more because I got him in his smallest and hardest to hit form. I think that would go a long way to adjusting the difficulty balance in this game, because as it is pretty brutal. I mean, you've seen how many times Link has died through no fault of my own, of course. Alright, so I'm going to make sure I hold the controller a little differently this time. This way, Link is... Look at that! First try. That wasn't the upgrade talking right there. That was... Ooh, you bastard. Now you're tempting with another 400 points. Let's see what I can do here. I keep walking into him. Can I get 300 more points? They keep tempting me with my upgrades. It's my last life. There's not 300 more points left in this palace. There might be more 300 more points left out in Hyrule. I know there's at least 1 or 2 other creatures left in this place I can probably kill. But if I can do it on the same life is a question. I'm getting greedy, I know. Wasu, what's up? One more skeleton, one more Stalfos, one more Iron Knuckle. Ah! Okay. Okay, down to 200. Just gonna be very careful here. We already killed both of those guys. Aha! Safety! So if I leave, hop back in, I think they respawn, right? Let's find out. I'm betting my entire life on this. Come on, Link. Use the Force. Concentrate. Kill your enemies. Okay. He's back. That's good. Which means if I can make it to the elevator... Ooh. Yes! This is doable. This is really doable. Yes! Okay. We are fully armed and operational on Link's side here. Six more points. Yes. Okay. Now we're cooking. Now if I die, I don't care. Now we can go straight for Misora. 3, 4, 5. Attack 3, Magic 4, Life 5. Not exactly the upgrade I was going for, but it's gotten us this far, which isn't really very far, so maybe I shouldn't use that expression in such a situation, huh? You know, situation. Misora is going down. We shall conquer and ride upon the corpse of the horse head. Alright, I got this now. Misora. In his artwork, he had like a really awesome cape too, but didn't have that in the graphic, but that's right. A very Roman feel to it. I like how there's a gate here, even though like the screen wouldn't let you advance anyways. Okay, Binding Force Crystal number 1. Gone. Do. That's what I like to hear. It's interesting too that, like, you know, most Zelda games, it's like the dungeons are used, like you're going in them to restore them, like the power to them, or what have you, or undo the evil that has infested them. And in this case, you're actually destroying them. Like you're turning them to rock. You're shutting them down. You're the thing that the next Link comes in to try and fix, typically in the storyline. It's rock. No. Conquered Palace, death by fireball. Or rock, or whatever that is. I hear about these desert sequences, it's like, you can't even get any XP out of them, really. Alright, so we've killed Misora. We've got our stats up now a little higher. To 445. I'm going to go check in at this next thing. And we're going to use that as our sort of save point. Actually, I have... Jump's the second magic. I should have the heal magic. Shouldn't I? I could have sworn. I must have skipped it from that somehow from this freaking village over here. There's something here I missed because it comes up first on the list, and I have the jump as the second. So you see here the jump is second on the list, so there should be one more. So I don't think there's a giant ass space over there either. Sorry, I know nothing. Return the crystal to the palace. I did. Oh, that's right. That's the fire dude. No, that's the healing lady. I already got healed. Sorry. I'm all tuckered out. Only the hammer can destroy a roadblock. Interesting that they refer to it as a roadblock instead of a boulder or just a rock. It's a rock in the road, so it's a... Hello, young fellow. Find the heart in southern Parapa. I did. Hello! Hello! Talk with my father before you leave. Oh. Now I get in. Each town has a wise man. Learn from him. Oh, sorry. Each man has a wise man. Learn from him. Yeah, I definitely should have been here earlier. I could have recovered, and I'm really behind on my play here. In Parapa Desert, use this magic to survive. Well, I guess I Really screwed that one up. It's not heal, it's shield, but in my defense, that's a perfectly valid approach in this game. A lot of people would have played it that way and not known about this. Granted, I may have been letting some of my... Oh, wait, we have to signal back to him. But as I was going to say, granted, I may have let some of my foreknowledge of the game, the past experience, misguide me. Alright, so we've got that. We've got the shield, so then we can progress elsewhere. Let's try and see if we can save something here. We gotta suspend. I'm gonna call for the night. It's about midnight now. Let's go ahead and... Alright. So I think we're done here now for the evening. Thank you, those who tuned in. Despite the grind there towards the end, I did get past the first palace, and I should have done it a lot sooner. Obviously, you saw a wrong turn I made there in my strategy and in my lack of getting the shield magic, which actually reduces your damage. So I actually could have had a good shot at passing Mazora without having to level up as much as I did. But it's a learning experience. These games are learn as you go. You know, the whole die, learn, repeat. Basically, you know, Link is Tom Cruise in this game. So yeah, in the earlier of the stream, there was some bumpiness there with the frame rate. I'm still trying to work out the text settings to streamline everything here for you guys. But hopefully you enjoyed some of the other aspects you saw, and I will be working to streamline those further. I'm going to pick this up. Maybe if I have some time this weekend, we'll get the next palace knocked out. But until then, I appreciate checking it out. All right. Good night.